Did you know that the Pop Culture Preservation Society is on Patreon? Patreon allows you to support our work by becoming dues-paying members of our society. We are an independent, women-run endeavor with a commitment to delivering the highest quality listening experience to our community. And so we've taught ourselves how to record, edit, and produce a podcast in midlife, a time when most of us are asking our kids how to regram a TikTok, so that we can deliver episodes that truly speak to you. Support from PCPS patrons means that we can devote more of our time and resources to the content, sources, equipment, software, hosting, and research that you've come to depend on, without worrying about how to pay the bills. So thank you. We appreciate you from the bottom of our bell-bottomed hearts.
Well, she's a meme, so she can't talk.
I'm sorry. I don't know what's going to happen to this episode. I really don't.
I think we have like 8 salvageable minutes.
Hello World is a song that we're singing. Come on, get happy. A whole lot of loving is what we'll be bringing. We'll make you happy.
Welcome to the Pop Culture Preservation Society, the podcast for people born in the big wheel generation who wore their socks up to their knees and their collars popped up to the sky.
We believe our Gen X childhoods gave us unforgettable songs, stories, characters, and images. And if we don't talk about them, they'll disappear. Like Marshall, Will, and Holly on a routine expedition.
And today, we will be saving the most trusted news source of our generation, Dynamite Magazine.
I'm Carolyn.
I'm Kristen.
And I'm Michelle. And we are your pop culture preservationists.
We'll make you happy.
Surprisingly, what we thought was kind of a shit show episode turned out to be one of my favorites. Any guesses what that one might be, ladies?
I mean, it could be one of many, so I don't know.
But I think, by Carolyn, it's my favorite too.
Yeah,
oh,
it's
good.
the one that made me laugh the hardest of all of them, I think.
Yes, so that would be, I'm guessing we are all on the same page. Yeah. That would be episode number 22, Dynamite, It Always Delivered. And we went in with one idea of how it was going to go, came out with a whole another idea as to how it went. And what did you guys think about our little shit show?
Yeah, we went in with a big plan like we always do. This one took a hard turn, came out with something different. And what I love about this is we all just literally were like, let's just go with it. We're done. We can't do this again.
Mm-hmm. This was supposed to be a very simple episode in which we take the stack of Dynamite magazines generously gifted to us by a society member. Thank you, Martha Kunow. And we were just going to page through them very leisurely and read them out loud to each other. Like, hey, do you guys want Leif Garrett's address? Because it's here in Dynamite Magazine. And it turned out to be the closest thing that I've had to slumber party hysterics since 1979.
Oh my gosh, you're so right. We weren't sure if Mercury was in retrograde. We had somehow angered the podcast gods. But there was so much that went haywire in this episode. There were power outages, technical difficulties, laughing attacks. But yet, like so many things in life, the joy and the fun was in that mess. Mm-hmm. Not to mention that this episode provided me with probably one of my favorite strolls down memory lane yet that I've experienced as we've researched stuff. It unlocked and wiped away some cobwebs of forgotten memories in the corner of my mind that might never, ever have been uncovered if it weren't for these Dynamite issues. Mm-hmm. What about you guys?
I mean, yes, but even outside of the content of it, like we just couldn't stop laughing. We just couldn't stop laughing.
Well,
Sorry.
I was going to say it was the stop. We couldn't stop laughing. I think it's from what happens like the last 15 minutes of the episode that are the funniest, when my power goes out and you guys don't know that my power's out. But leading up to it, like Kristen, you said earlier, we were like, this is going to be so easy. We'll just flip through. And we quickly realized we were like, you guys, this is like crickets. Like this isn't falling where we wanted it to fall. Like this isn't, but I think there's humor in that when you listen to it, because we say that, we were saying it now, but when you listen to this episode, we will say that again in the intro, that like, please just go with it. And please, if you understand that that's what was happening when you're listening to this episode, it becomes a lot more interesting.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and you know what I forgot about? I think one of my favorite parts, besides the hysterics, was that we interview Martha, the person who actually gifted us these magazines. This was her subscription, not from eBay, but when they arrived at her house in fourth grade. And she had a subscription from like second grade to eighth grade or something crazy. And so we're paging through these magazines, and lo and behold, Martha has filled in all the little quizzes. It's like a time capsule in the back of the magazine in Martha's handwriting. And so we decide to call up Martha and quiz her on her answers and see if she can
It's a great part of the episode because
It's
Martha
so
is
funny.
like the perfect foil. She's like, we love Martha. And I just love the way when we're like, she was such a good sport about it too, because we were asking her like, who do you think you put down as, the top 3 celebrities you want to see? And, the answers, I'm not going to spoil it, but the answers are pretty funny. And I just love how it's
not
so
Sean
hard
Cassidy.
to get.
It's not Scott Baio. Yeah, it's
No.
not.
It's a good interview.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was, that interview was fun. And again, just flipping through those magazines rekindled some memories that I had forgotten, like That's Incredible, that TV show. Honestly, guys, I had totally forgotten about it, but we chat about that. We talk about the hosts, Fran Tarkenton, Sarah Purcell, and John Davidson. And lo and behold, what happened?
I know. Okay, same, Carolyn. I loved that show. And even as a child, I mean, John Davidson I knew enough to know he was good looking. I wasn't crushing on him because he was way older, but like, I don't know how much older. I say way older. Now it's probably not that big of a difference, but but I knew enough to know like that is a pretty man. Like he is good. Like he has good hair. You guys, he follows PCPS on Instagram.
Yeah, we're friends.
Yep. Yeah, that's right.
And he has a little blue check and everything.
We're like this.
It's the real John Davidson
right now.
Also, can I say he's still a pretty man? The hair
still have
has
the head of
stayed.
hair?
He still has, and it's gray.
Oh,
Yeah, he's still a nice looking man. He
you
looks
guys
exactly
remember?
like he looks exactly like you put John Davidson in one of those aging machines. or those apps. You know
It's a
those
filter.
apps.
It's a
that
filter and they put on
that you look
wrinkles.
at and it's like this is what you're going to look like as an old man. It's like you took John Davidson's picture and did that. But it's not bad. I'm not saying that as a bad thing, John Davidson, if you're listening. You are a very handsome,
salt and pepper,
man.
Sexy.
Yeah.
Salt and pepper sexy.
You aged
I just made up a new
well.
term.
Yes.
I love that. Salt and pepper sexy.
Okay, do you guys remember, don't forget that we ran into that guy at the Monkees concert who was John Davidson's ski instructor?
Wait, what?
Oh, that's
Don't
right.
you remember this? We're standing in line, waiting to get our Vax cards checked to go in and see the Monkees basically the day before Michael Nesmith dies, R.I.P. And a guy says that he was John Davidson's ski instructor. And do you remember what happened when it snowed?
No.
They had to go inside.
Seriously, I had one Cosmo at dinner, and I don't remember this.
When it snowed, on the ski slopes, mind you, when it snowed, they had to go in.
Why?
Because of his hair. His hair. He didn't want to ruin his hair.
Wait, he didn't even have on like a hat? Like
Well,
a snow
put a
hat?
hat on that. That takes a lot of time.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Well, John,
Was
if
this
you're
the guy
listening.
that took the picture with us?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I was busy getting my Vax card out or something.
I mean, good for him for protecting his best asset. Let's just say.
That's true. And I was about to say he wasn't wearing a helmet, but we didn't wear helmets back then.
No.
Also,
This
his
like
hair
the
was
90s or
kind of a
something.
helmet. If you think about it. John Davidson brought his own built-in helmet.
It was a hair-shaped helmet, so it wouldn't muss.
It was
the
good
hair.
hair. It's still good hair. Okay.
It's really great
Bounced
hair.
off.
We love him for it.
Well, we loved remembering John Davidson, but I got to say, you guys, perhaps my favorite rediscovered memory was Shields and Yarnell. I'm sorry, I can't even say their names.
I'm just remembering the conversation.
I know. And one of the best parts of that conversation, I think, was trying to decide if the dynamic duos are actually memes or mimes.
Okay, first of all, we're all cutting each other off now. Number one, I have realized since recording this episode that Shields and Yarnell had matching Tony Tennille haircuts.
I wrote that down.
Oh my God.
They did.
Matching haircuts. But let's just settle the mime meme thing. Okay, we're just going to settle it right now. So this was a cultural reference that went wrong.
Like a lot of things in this episode.
Right.
Kristen's going to try to defend herself now.
Yep. Mm-hmm. It comes from Diane Chambers, the, barmaid / PhD candidate on Cheers, who makes a reference to a time when she herself worked as a mime. Because, of course, she says it the French way, but nobody knows what I'm saying. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. So instead of making a 1980s TV cultural reference, I am Diane Chambers. I'm the person who says meme.
And you insist that it's meme. So for those of you that are listening to this episode, and maybe you've listened to many episodes over the past 6 or 7 months, but you've never listened to this Dynamite episode, and you've heard anytime we say something about French or France, Carolyn and I will always say, well, let's defer to Kristen because she's French, or, well, Kristen can tell us she's French. You're about to hear why we always say that.
This means that I took French in 7th grade.
We'll never let you live it down.
No, it's permanent.
That is the correct pronunciation in France, because I just did a little fact checking. In the UK and here in America, mime is how you pronounce it. So, I guess technically we can both say we were right. But
well, you know what it's become? We'll never let you live it down. It has become, if you will, a PCPS meme. But mic drop, and she walks away.
Oh, we are quite funny.
Okay, in the newsletter, the next newsletter, we're putting in the clip where Diane Chambers talks about being a meme.
Okay, let's do it.
That works great. Well, since we're talking about Shields and Yarnell, and this memory was uncovered at that episode, I've since gone down some more of a rabbit hole because I love to do that. And I want to share a few things I've learned about Shields and Yarnell that I did not know when we did that episode, but I can give you a little bit. Oh, yeah. So buckle up. This is
I can't get enough Shields and Yarnell. Let me just tell you.
Mm-hmm. Well,
never enough.
There is never enough.
Wait, did we decide dead or not dead?
Well, Yarnell is dead, but Shields is not. Yes, Yarnell sadly in 2010 died of a brain aneurysm. I don't remember if we included that in the episode.
I wonder if at his funeral she just mimed like digging the dirt.
Michelle.
What?
Yarnell is the woman.
Oh, that's right.
No, but with the magic haircuts, you can't tell.
It's true. Well, it's so funny that you said that because when I was doing my rabbit hole digging, it was these photos that, again, just more cobwebs were flying around because, yes, the Tony Tennille haircuts, I had forgotten. I mean, they look like twins. You look at these pictures and they could be twins. Then there was the one that I thought, oh my gosh, this was just memories unlocked, where Robert Shields, he's wearing like an ascot and he has a pipe. And she has these rollers in her hair, and they're the clinkers. Okay, maybe you don't remember the clinkers, but if you see this image, and we'll make sure and post it and so other people can see them, that was this robotic couple that...
Oh, I do know.
would have these scenes on their sketch comedy show as well as on Sonny and Cher, on the John Davidson show, on Mac Davis's show. And they are credited with the beloved robot dance move.
Wait, like they created it?
Yes. Before
Can that be true? Can that be true?
Well,
wait, you've got to see. Carolyn is doing the robot right now.
Well, do it. I remember my sister and I would do it. And do you remember the some of those scenes where they were like this husband and wife, and they would go to kiss each other, but they'd like miss, or they'd go to hug, but they would miss. And there's one like they're making breakfast, and she pours the cereal, and it goes like all over the place, and then they pour the milk, and it goes everywhere.
So they are more than memes.
They are. And he said in an interview that one of the keys to really all of their memeing that made them so successful was the ability to not blink for long periods of time. That was kind of the key.
I'm trying it right now.
That's what set them apart.
Yes. Do you know he practiced and practiced and practiced because there's a muscle in the back of your eye that controls your blinking. So he, again, trained, practiced. He could do it for 2.5 hours. He could not blink for 2.5 hours. Yes.
Yeah, your eyes get stingy. My sister and I used to have staring contests, right?
Yes.
And your eyes start to burn.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you trained like Robert Shields did, then you too could go for a while.
Well, Carolyn, how about in this week's newsletter, along with the Cheers clip, I'm going to find the Shields and Yarnell clinkers doing the robot, and we're going to put that in. So make sure, if you are not already signed up for our newsletter, just go to our website at poppreservationists.com, and there'll be a box right there where you can sign up. If you're on Instagram, you can go to our Linktree link, and it's all very self-explanatory. But we'll put these in this week's Weekly Reader.
Yeah. And again, you will be amazed at what memories come flooding back to you. You too will remember playing with your sibling and reenacting the breakfast pouring of the cereal.
I could watch this all day.
Well, can we maybe put this clip on Patreon too?
Well, maybe we
because
can.
You guys really need to see Carolyn doing the robot.
It's awesome.
I think she's
and
practiced.
she says she doesn't dance. She says she doesn't sing. She says she doesn't dance.
Well,
and here she is doing the robot.
That's a lie.
Well, I can do the stilted maybe. And, yeah, my sister and I would just spend hours doing that. We loved that. Yes, and you know what? Shields went on to become the director of clowning for Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus.
Why are you laughing?
I don't know.
I mean, it makes sense.
Whole life. It's his whole life.
But he spent hours and hours training not to blink.
That's right.
That's what he devoted his life to.
And director of clowning.
I don't know why they make me laugh so hard now.
I know.
Well, here is maybe the most exciting news I have to share with you guys.
There's more.
There is more. And I just want to make sure I get it right, that I say everything correctly, because this year, 2022, the documentary, My Life as a Robot, will be premiering at film festivals across the country. This is the documentary about Robert Shields and his life as a robot. So I will make sure and include a link in our show notes to the trailer for the documentary.
A link? We're going. A link. All I'm thinking of right now is, which one? Sundance? We're there. You guys, I really doubt it at Sundance. At film festivals across, it's like the Ringling Brothers Film Festival. I mean, is it really going to be like up against
You should see the website. Well, I don't know.
I'm going to look it up. Don't worry.
Okay.
Okay, but more importantly, it's my life as a robot, not my life as a mime.
Oh,
so
that's right.
That's interesting because we just learned 5 minutes ago that they were the robots.
Right. And I think that's kind of how they think that they're going to be remembered. They tweaked the miming to be roboting.
Also, the My Life makes me a little sad for Yarnell because he's just leaving her out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess since she's not around to contribute, he can't say our lives.
And they got a divorce, but I think it was amicable. And she was remarried and living in Norway or Sweden or somewhere over there.
I'm doing the Michelle thing now where I'm picturing them in court miming their divorce proceedings.
Oh my goodness. Okay, this court proceeding may begin, but there's no speaking.
Honestly, you guys, after all this, we could have done an entire Shields and Yarnell episode.
I know.
And maybe
it's coming. It's
you guys. Well, when we preview the film, and then maybe we'll have him on as a guest.
Yeah. See, I got mixed up again. So he's the one who's alive.
Yes.
And she's the one who died.
Yes.
All
And
right.
he
but
is
put
an
a dress
artist.
on him and he's still got, does he have the haircut still?
I don't know. We'll have to look. I'm sure in the film we would see. But he's an artist and he likes to do ceramics and design jewelry. He lives in California and he's still creating.
And practicing he's not blinking.
I think that's kind of fun.
Okay.
And he hasn't blinked since 1992.
Good on ya.
Should we get to this episode?
Yes.
Hey guys, thanks for listening. Let's raise our glasses for a toast.
There's no doubt, you guys, that this might be the episode where I needed my Depends the most. And until we just recorded this part, and then now I might need them again. But it's funny, it's fun, and we want you all to enjoy our encore presentation, episode 22, Dynamite, It Always Delivered.
I recently received a text message that would change history for the Pop Culture Preservation Society. It was from my friend Martha, who had just gotten home from a visit with her mom, who still lives in Martha's childhood home, where Martha learned that her mom had saved every issue of Dynamite Magazine that had ever come into their house. It was a gold mine,
6 years worth of Dynamite Magazine. And instead of running to eBay, Martha called me, a true preservationist, exalted status as a society member. Martha, congratulations to you. She could have made a pretty penny selling these, and instead she essentially donated them to our cause of saving the cultural nuggets of the classic Gen X childhood. And nothing says classic Gen X childhood like Dynamite.
It's my Newsweek. It was my Newsweek. It was
For
my
sure.
Us magazine, my People magazine, my Entertainment Weekly, all rolled into one.
Absolutely it was. I remember the day that the Dynamite arrived in the Scholastic book order, and it was the Fonzie edition. I think every kid in my 3rd grade class ordered the Fonzie edition of Dynamite Magazine.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Do you guys have any idea when the first time that the Dynamite Magazine would have been an option in your Scholastic book order?
Oh, let's see. I'm going to guess. I'm going to say 78.
I'm going to say, no, it's got to be earlier than that because I was getting them in 76 for sure. So I'm going to say 75 or 76.
It was actually 1974.
Oh,
March of 1974 to be exact. And any thoughts on who might have graced the cover of the very first issue of Dynamite Magazine?
Tell me the month. It was March.
March of 1974.
You need the month too. Wow, that's some
I'm gonna
wheels
say
turning in your head.
It's pre Donnie and Marie, but it's not pre Donnie Osmond. But that's big stuff for Dynamite to have Donnie Osmond on the cover. He would have been on Tiger Beat. Let's say the Brady Bunch.
I was just about to say someone from the Brady Bunch or the Brady Bunch.
Actually, no, it was Hawkeye and Radar from MASH. They graced the very first cover. So yeah, those were the eyes some of us looked into if we ordered that very first
and
issue.
There is a definite MASH affinity. As I've been going through all of these issues, there's tons of MASH in there. And that certainly was not a children's show, but we were watching it with our parents.
Yeah.
Carolyn, when did Dynamite start being published? Because was it tied to Scholastic book clubs
yes,
from the
it
very
was.
beginning?
Actually, so 1974, it was founded by, believe it or not, a 27-year-old woman. Her name's Jeanette Kahn, and she did the first 3 issues before she actually left and went to DC Comics as a writer, publisher, and 6 years later, I think it was 5 or 6 years later, she was named the first female president and youngest president of DC Comics. So she was, ahead of her time.
She was
30 years old. She was the president of DC Comics.
Yes.
But also it's not really surprising. Yes, for the era that a 27-year-old woman launched this, definitely for 1970, probably 3 at the time when she's coming up with it.
Yeah,
but not in that it's someone young that created this magazine, because you can tell she was so still in touch with
she
kids.
Was.
Yeah,
yes.
and what they liked and what they were interested in.
The cool thing is the next editor that followed Jeanette was Jane Stein. And guess what? She is the wife of R.L. Stein, the writer of
Goosebumps.
The Goosebumps books. Yes. Yeah, and there were maybe 2 more editors that followed Jane and Jeanette. And after 165 issues, Dynamite ceased existence in 1992 after 18 years.
That's a good run.
Can you believe that?
That's a good run.
Now your quiz is who was on the final cover of Dynamite Magazine.
And what
March of 1992. I don't want you to suffer. Because I'm not sure you would have put these 2 people together, which Dynamite had a way of doing. Sometimes putting 2 people together.
Like Chewbacca and Sean Cassidy.
Yeah, that that in real life didn't work, but on there it did. Our final cover featured Julia Roberts and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, that's weird.
I don't like that.
Not sure what that connection is, but yes, they were the final cover of Dynamite. So we thought the best way to share Dynamite with our listeners would be to read some of the most significant passages we unearthed, to release our findings from this anthropological dig. So why don't we get started? Kristen, you want to go first?
The first episode that we have is October of 1979. Sean Cassidy is on the cover, and the headline says Sean Cassidy in Breaking Away. So this is a new era for Sean Cassidy. This is not Do Ron Ron. This is not Hardy Boys. The Hardy Boys has now been canceled, and you can tell by the cover that he's a new Sean Cassidy. He's still got the beautiful feathered hair, but he's now got a side part instead of a middle part.
Shaking things
It's a
up.
new, yep, he is. He's shaking things up. So when you open the magazine, the first thing that you see is something that says, sticker up your bike. Did you guys have stickers on your bike?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Sticker up your bike. It says, give your bike the sticker picker-upper with a Dynamite set of peel and stick bicycle stickers. You'll find your breaking away sticker in the front of this ish. Which it took me a couple of seconds to realize that's issue.
Issue.
It's in the front of this ish. And then we were talking about how Jane Stein must have had a way of speaking like kids do. So I don't know if she came up with ish or if she heard people say ish.
I loved how they would include all that fun stuff like stickers. There was always something to punch out from Dynamite or make a mobile or a game or hang this poster up. I love that.
Right. Well, and this is very interesting. They have a little place where they wish happy birthday to a lot of celebrities. And then they put the address of that celebrity to write a letter to them. So you can send, so the first one is Leif Garrett. His birthday's on November 8th. And you can send cards to Leif at care of Atlantic Records, 75 Rockefeller Plaza, New York, New York, 10019. You can also send one to Lou Ferrigno. If anybody wants Lou Ferrigno's address, please let me know. I have it.
I think my sister wrote him a fan letter, to be honest with you.
Oh, Lou
When
Ferrigno.
she wrote,
probably-
and Ricardo Montalban.
She probably got
She loves
Dynamite.
that
That's where she got
Corinthian
all
leather.
those addresses.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're
Lou
probably
Ferri-
right. She probably did.
Is Lou Ferrigno
was cool to
dead
have,
or not dead?
He died early, I think, didn't he? Or am I
died.
thinking of Andre the Giant?
Andre the Giant's definitely dead.
Okay, Andre the Giant died. Maybe Lou Ferrigno is still alive. I hope so.
Okay, yeah, we'll do a little fact check.
Someone check.
Okay.
Having a sister, though, was cool because one Dynamite, we could both read it. I'm assuming. I wonder if we did. I wonder if we shared them. Okay, my issue of Dynamite is from December. My first issue I'm going to share is from December 1980, and I would have been all over this issue if I didn't own it. I don't remember if I did or not, but this is got Cutie Patootie, Chachi. It's got Scott Baio on the cover,
Chachi.
and it's a really cute age. This was. I loved this Chachi. You know, this is like right
Good
at the beginning.
Chachi.
Yeah.
And it says Dynamite spends a happy day with Scott Baio. Scott was supposed to be on vacation when Dynamite was talking to him, but he didn't feel much like relaxing with his usual pastimes. A game of racquetball or tennis. I have poison oak right now, he explained. Besides getting into a hot shower and suddenly having the water turn to ice, Scott told us, this poison oak stuff is one of my main pet peeves. Top of the list. Scott ran into the poison oak while chasing down one of the 50 pigeons he and his dad raised in their California backyard. Pigeon raising is a long-time Baio hobby, according to Scott. When my dad was a kid, he had a pigeon coop with about 500 birds. And when we lived in Brooklyn, we had a pigeon coop too.
In Brooklyn?
Okay, pigeons are like the garbage dump of birds. Like that's
like
disgusting,
collecting
Scott
squirrels.
Baio. Yeah, exactly.
No
Okay,
wonder
why?
he's-
And the whole poison ivy thing just seems like too much information, or maybe it's irrelevant. I don't.
They have at the bottom too.
shower.
If you want to write a letter to Scott Baio, send it to ABC TV. Okay, also, my favorite section, if not then, because I have no idea, I don't really have a memory of definite memories of Dynamite, but now reading through all of these is definitely the What's the Word. It's like a mini Us magazine or a mini Entertainment Tonight.
It is
It
my
gives you
favorite
all the
part.
celebrity updates. So I like this one. And also kind of like the one you just read. This is some information that I'm not sure first of all, where they got it, how reputable is it, and two, they should have been giving out. Because this says,
It seems like they're
Hotline.
insinuating stuff.
Yes. Hotline Television City. Dana Plato, the 15-year-old co-star of Different Strokes, is hoping the scriptwriters will start giving her some different jokes. That's in quotes. Says Dana, nothing in the show is funny, but Gary's lines. I'm a straight man for Gary Coleman.
Ouch.
Dana is not leaving the show, just hoping for some more laughs. Phew. Now, here's my thing.
Phew.
That
Did
is-
they put
that's
phew
a-
in the, that's in
Yeah,
print?
W-H-E-W.
Phew. Okay.
That's like a fireable quote. I'm
Sure
thinking.
it is.
And Dynamite, who did she say that to?
Right.
Dana Plato's not real smart if she actually said that to someone that it got
It's
printed.
very overt. That does not sound like something her PR person peddled to People Magazine in order to get attention, to get more money for her contract. right?
And
we
then
need to call
I
Jane Stein and ask where they got these
Yes.
little tidbits.
Well, I'm going to follow up. I have some nice follow-ups to what you guys were talking about. I have the November 1980 issue of Dynamite that, yes, does feature, as we've said, Fran Tarkenton, Kathy Lee Crosby, and John Davidson. They can't believe that they are on the cover of Dynamite because that's what the little speech bubble says. That's incredible.
We're on the cover of Dynamite.
Yes. And so we are entertained in the very first article with a feature on, that's incredible. A man 6 feet tall puts himself into a plastic box 16 inches by 17 inches by 22 inches and remains there for 36 minutes. Then he does the same stunt again, this time submerged at the bottom of a swimming pool.
No,
I know, we watch this stuff.
That's
my
incredible.
anxiety. I'm probably, this is probably when my anxiety started.
This is where it began.
Is watching these poor people. So yes, it goes on to say that some critics have charged that shows like That's Incredible are too bizarre, too freaky. But the producer denies that charge. He says, we do many serious stories about breakthroughs in medical research and things that are going on in the animal world and so on. You think this was kind of like early reality TV?
It absolutely was.
about-
Real people. That's incredible. When you think about the fact that those shows were on at the same time, it was kind of the same show. And it was different from anything that had ever been on TV before. But truthfully, I mean, in That's Incredible's defense, I was not tuning in to see the medical breakthroughs. I was tuning in to see the guy put himself into the box.
For sure. Yeah.
The next one that I have is the March 1980 edition. It has Gilda Radner on the cover. And I have two things to read you from, again, What's the Word, which is the Us Weekly part of what is this magazine called? It's called
Dynamite.
Dynamite. Okay, Hotline Hollywood. Here's a good one. Oh Heavenly Dog, the movie Oh Heavenly Dog, will be bringing that really heavenly dog, Benji, back to the big screen. Chevy Chase also stars, and the new twist in this flick is that the character Chevy plays dies and comes back to life as Benji. That means that Benji will be talking, not barking, with Chevy's voice. But here's the really big secret. Although most of the filming was done in Canada, some scenes had to be shot in London. Thanks to certain English quarantine laws, the real Benji was not allowed into the country. That called for a big talent search for a Benji stand-in. A Benji lookalike was in fact found, so when you see the movie, be sure to look carefully at the quote-unquote Benji in the London scenes. Will you be able to tell the difference?
Well, now we will. Had they not told us that?
Spoiler.
Exactly.
I didn't want to know that.
As a kid, you're like, well, wah, wah.
I
Let's go
know.
see Not Really Benji.
Not really. I just think it's funny that Benji's real name is Benji.
Wait, do we remember this movie? Where he talks
Yes,
like
I
Chevy
do.
Chase? I don't.
I never saw it because I saw like one movie a year and that didn't qualify. But I just thought Benji was the movie about the dog named Benji and that little dog had its own name. But apparently Benji was his own star. He alone was a celebrity.
There you go.
Okay,
That's
I have
what said.
here's another little nugget from Hotline Television City. Will Michael Landon, who plays Charles Ingalls on Little House on the Prairie, have to be written out of the scripts for future episodes? I hope not. As all fans of the Little House books know, in the real life story, see, we didn't actually read the books. Don't tell anyone that. In the real life story, Laura Ingalls never saw her parents again after she married Almanzo Wilder. She was only 14 when she married Almanzo, and she married him against her parents' wishes. Will the show follow the books so closely that we'll never see Laura's family again? Keep an eye on this one to see what happens.
Ooh. Okay, can we just have a moment to realize that one, they didn't approve of the marriage. Two, she was 14 and never saw her parents again. And maybe they didn't leave on that great of terms because they didn't like Almanzo that much.
So we are not getting the proper picture of
I like
the
my
whole
picture
Little
better.
House saga.
Lies.
I'm going to take Michael Landon over the real deal.
When I just opened my Dynamite from August of 80, it says it's the letters from listeners or from readers. And this must be the next month because this letter says, Dear Dynamite, in What's the Word of Dynamite number 70, you said that all fans of the Little House books know that Laura Ingalls married Almanzo Wilder at age 14 and never saw her parents again. Well, I have read all the books, and they say she got married at 18 and saw her parents all the time, which is right. Jill Underhill, Tigard, Oregon. Dear
Way
Jill,
to go, Jill.
I know. I like you, Jill.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Way to put it to Dynamite.
Truth in journalism.
Dear
Yes.
Jill, the books are right, of course. Dynamite always does things in a big way, and that includes goofs. We really goofed in number 70 with our wrong information, and many Little House fans wrote to correct us. We sincerely apologize for our error and hope everyone accepts it. Thanks for letting us know in such a nice way that we made a mistake. Dynamite.
Way to
That's
pick
so
up
weird,
on that,
Kristen, because
Michelle.
I had no
This
idea
is
you were
not
going to read that.
scripted, people.
This
is not
that's right.
scripted.
It is not. I thought it was my turn to share, and I opened my next Dynamite to see what year it was, and the Little House just popped out at me, so I just kind of scanned it, and I was like, oh my gosh,
That's kismet right there.
what is happening?
Yeah.
Well, a few things. One, thank you, God, because I was very upset there, as you just heard a few minutes ago, that she didn't see them anymore. Two, I'm kind of concerned now. How much of this is even real? I can't believe that that was a huge goof.
Also,
Sorry,
that they just admitted Dynamite always does things in a big way, and that includes goofs. So it's basically like they're saying, when we mess up, we don't do it small.
We do it big.
We go big or go home with our mistakes.
Look at this, you guys. This is the July 1975 issue of Dynamite Magazine. Look who's on the cover. It's the Slee Stacks from the Land of the Lost.
Marshall, Will, and Holly on the routine expedition met the greatest earthquake ever known.
Okay, so there's a whole article in here about the Land of the Lost, and they give this very layperson's explanation of how they film it, which is some archaic things about stop motion filming and green screen technology, which is not at all interesting anymore. But they do give the origin story of Land of the Lost.
Oh.
So this is what Sid Croft says. Okay, dinosaurs are really exciting, Sid Croft told Dynamite. That's why we were thinking of doing something that had to do with dinosaurs. Then I went camping in the Grand Canyon. I suddenly thought, what a terrible place to be in an earthquake. At that moment, I saw a park ranger, and that sparked me. I thought, what if a park ranger and his son and daughter were in the canyon and one of those gigantic rocks split open and they found themselves in a world that time forgot? And, well, that's the show.
Well, how about that?
That's fascinating to me.
Also,
Yes.
like I said, the writer's room at Dynamite must have been fun because you could just throw out any type of idea and they're like, sure, let's use it. I think that must be what the writer's room at Land of the Lost was like as well.
Okay, did you know this? You guys, this blew my mind. So the Crofts, Sid and Marty, the Crofts started making people smile as puppeteers. Today, Sid and Marty Croft's interests have spread so far that the title, The World of Sid and Marty Croft, is not an exaggeration. As a matter of fact, all the artists and craftspeople at the factory are busy building a world right now. It's the world of Sid and Marty Croft, the world's first indoor amusement park, and it will open in Atlanta, Georgia next winter. There was like a Land of the Lost theme park.
You guys,
What
Kristen,
happened
is
to
you
it?
reading that? I was getting so excited thinking this was current. I was like, oh, when? Like my
We're totally
my thought was
going.
like, I can't wait.
Field trip. Wait. No, this is 1975. How did I not know this? How did I not know about the Land of the Lost theme park? I would have been dying to go. Well, there could be actually there. So it did actually exist. It was built in what is now the CNN building in Atlanta. So you see the CNN building on TV all the time. That's where the Land of the Lost amusement park was. It only lasted 6 months.
Oh,
That's why we never heard about it.
Yeah.
And
I can see
part
that
of
being
it-
a really specialized type of, attraction.
It's a little
for people to go
nichey.
to. Yeah.
It's a little nichey, but they said it was a little, like you said, nichey. No, I guess I said that. Let's scratch that and start over.
Okay.
They had a lot of reasons for it closing. One being that it was only attractive to a small number of people, like weirdos like me. And also that it was in an area of town known for its urban decay. And people thought it wouldn't be safe to go.
Oh. I have a fun little question and answer, a little quiz for you all, you two. In the Dynamite magazine I was just talking about, where the lady wrote in, or the girl, Jill from Tigard, Oregon, wrote in. So this is August 1980. It's the Brady Bunch is on the front, and we all know that by 1980, the Brady Bunch wasn't a current show, but it's called TV's Top Reruns, the Brady Bunch and More. And the article is reruns, the TV shows that wouldn't die. And it's just talking about rerun champs and the reruns we all liked to watch, you know, in the 70s and 1980s. And I just want to ask you guys to see if you can give me some that were deemed worthy enough to put in this article.
Oh, and was this something that Dynamite said, or is it? Did they ask the kids?
It just says, here's a laughable look at the greatest, silliest, and the longest running reruns.
Gilligan
is on there.
I Love Lucy.
Yes, that's the first one. Queen of the reruns. I watched I Love Lucy every day after school, even when I was like a sophomore in high school. So this would have been like
I watched
1982. Yeah.
I was definitely, because I loved little Ricky and his little bongos. Now he went, Babaloo. I loved that.
So these are the longest running and the silliest.
That's so funny.
His little bongos?
Babaloo.
He did say it just like that.
He did. It was super cute. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm waiting for you to answer.
We're still guessing.
Okay. Dick Van Dyke.
Oh, sorry.
Dick Van Dyke is not on there, but that would definitely be one.
I would put that on my
mine.
list. My Three Sons.
It's not on there.
Bewitched.
No.
I Dream of Jeannie.
I'll just tell you. This is not going well. They have The Odd Couple, Gilligan's Island, Star Trek. They have The Brady Bunch. They have Green Acres, The Monkees, The Munsters, and The Addams Family.
The Munsters and the Addams Family.
Do you guys know what MASH stands for, by the way? Does it stand for A, Mobile Army Surgical Hospital?
Yes.
B, Medical Area Service Hospital? Or C, Military Anti-Sanity Haven?
No. It's A.
A, final answer.
Wait. Oh, crap. I have to find answers. I have to turn it upside down and look at this tiny.
Make you turn.
It is A. It is A. Okay, last one. What does, oh no, this is actually fun. We're going to keep going. What does Samantha and Bewitched do before working her magic? I'm not even going to give you the three choices.
She does her nose.
She twitches her. I'm not even going to look at the answer on that one. I know that one's right.
we don't need
What parts of the $6 million man were bionic? A, an arm, an ear, and his legs. B, an eye, his legs, and an ear. Or C, his legs, an arm, and an eye.
I can't even keep it straight.
I know. You have arm, ear, legs. Yeah, because eye is definitely one of them, isn't it?
Arm,
no ear.
Legs?
Yes.
Is that what you said?
C. Legs,
Is it
arm,
Jamie
and an
Summers
eye.
who has an ear? Okay.
And then you guys will know this one too. What were the names? I'm not even going to give you the
choices.
The choices. What were the names of the original three sons on My Three Sons?
Chip, Ernie, and Robbie. Oh, wait, there's an older brother.
Robbie, yes. Ernie, Chip, those are right.
Yes.
Of the original three sons.
Yeah, see, maybe there's an older brother. And is it Mike?
Oh, good job.
So it's Mike, Robbie, and Chip.
Yeah.
Your other choices would have been Huey, Dewey, and Louie, or Greg, Bruce, and Chip. They should have had Peter, Bobby, and Greg.
Why was there always the elusive older
brother? You guys,
brother?
is there anything in this episode we're going to be able to save? I don't think
what was
so.
the one on Happy Days?
Chuck?
Who was the older brother on Happy Days?
Yeah. That was Chuck.
Chuck. Yeah, like why bother having an elusive older brother? It serves no purpose.
I don't know what the point of that is.
They didn't have storylines around them or anything. They weren't a foil for anybody.
Yeah,
I don't get it. Okay. Carolyn, do you have another one or should I go?
I'm happy to go because I was thrilled, I'm sure, in the May 1978 issue when they featured on the cover Shields and Yarnell.
So creepy.
Were they mimes?
Yes, they were mimes.
Yes.
And we were.
Yes, and I loved them. Ew.
I was put off by the mimes.
Well,
I dressed as a mime for and gave out balloons at my stepfather's furniture store sale.
Well, I want to know, were you...
I have a photo of that, too.
I want to know, were you classically trained as a mime? Or...
Yeah.
Meme? Don't we say meme?
I was not, but I had my mom made me, you were talking about my mom sewing. I had an entire clown outfit that was black and white, but it was more like a clown outfit, but I painted half my face black and the other half white. And I had the black and white hat and white gloves, and I would pass out. And we also had a little Pepsi wagon, so I would give out hot dogs and Pepsi. And I just didn't talk.
Well, that works.
That's the mime side
It was
hustle.
probably my
handing out
family
hot
saying,
dogs.
Michelle, be
There
a
you go.
mime.
But don't talk. Oh my God, Michelle.
Right. It was
they
their
said you're a mime.
suggestion.
You can't talk.
Right. It was
You
their
can't talk.
suggestion. I'm sure. My mom, I was probably like, I want to be a clown. And my mom's like, how about a mime?
Nope. No talking. Nope.
Well, you'll be
Don't
glad
talk
to
to the
know
customers.
that Robert Shields, a.k.a. the Shields of the Shields and Yarnell, that
Shields.
he was actually Marcel Marceau was so impressed with Robert Shields. He said, come over to France and I will teach you the classical art of mime. And Robert went over there and it just was not for him. He did not want to learn that kind of mime. He wanted to do his own kind of Robert Shields mime. Yes.
Like variety
and
show
so,
miming.
the robot, that's what they were really big on right now.
They did a
I'm
lot of
roboting.
robots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weren't they in a box a lot? Were they in a box a lot or no?
That's classical
Yeah,
mime.
Is it
Classical
really
mime
called
is
meme?
box.
It's called
Yeah.
mime. Is it called meme?
In French, you
Okay,
say
well, see, I
mime.
just
And so if you
said
go
he
to
did-
France
he
to
left
study,
France.
you're going to
He
be a
left
mime.
France. We're back in America. It's mime. Okay.
So we say
There-
mime. Yeah.
There you go. So he did his little act for a while solo, Robert, but then he met Yarnell.
Of the bowl cut. The
Gloria.
famous bowl
I don't
cut.
know. What's her name?
Gloria Yarnell.
No, Lorene.
Susan.
Lorene.
Deb.
Maureen Yarnell.
But
That's hard to say.
unfortunately, when Michelle and Tom Grimm, who wrote the article, when they went to Shields and Yarnell's home to interview, look,
Wait, they were married?
they were married.
Yeah, they were married.
They didn't stay married.
What are the chances of marrying another mime?
Well, she was actually an actress and a dancer. He taught her. He taught her kind of the mime routine, because
Forced
she was
miming.
actually a dance class when they came to interviews.
I'm sorry.
So she wasn't there during the in-depth interview. Robert had to answer all the questions for both of them.
Well, she's a meme, so she can't talk.
I'm sorry. I don't know what's going to happen to this episode. I really don't.
I think we have like 8 salvageable minutes. That's interesting. You guys, can you just imagine the two of them though? Like when they're asking like, what do you want for dinner? It takes like 45 minutes because they keep,
Gosh,
oh no.
there you go. That's right. Well, but actually, do you remember they had a variety show? Like we loved them so much as a society that they got their own weekly variety show. And they were people like this. Now, Michelle is frozen, so she can't see. But, like, don't you remember those kind of characters that they were? And I think they had guests on their variety show.
There's a cowboy and a lady of the evening.
I'm sorry. Look at Michelle. I think we lost her. Wait.
She's like, I'm out.
Is she being a
I'm
mime?
out. Oh, wait.
Michelle, okay, we give. Uncle.
She's miming. Oh my God, she says we just lost our power. Oh my God.
What is the deal? I
is
don't
going
know. I would
on?
say it was the ghost of Lou Frigg. Nobody's not dead.
It's the ghost of Lou Frigg, no, except that he's not
Oh
dead.
my, this thing has been cursed from the beginning. Oh my gosh, I'm laughing so hard I'm about to wet my pants. This is when we need our Depends people to sponsor us.
I know. It's sponsored by
Okay.
Depends.
I can't, can you
Adult
text her
diapers
back?
for
I don't
ladies
even know
who
where my
laugh.
phone is. Okay, I don't
Yes.
know.
Should I say, see ya? She says, swear to God, you guys, this episode is doomed. Swear to God, I'm sitting in the dark. I can't make this up. Can't stop laughing. Is that what I should say?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Now that we've pulled ourselves together, shall we proceed
Okay, next we have a surprise for you. We called Martha today our Dynamite benefactor because while we read her magazines, we got to know little Martha. Because if you recall, Dynamite was full of quizzes and questionnaires like we've been reading, and Martha's history was left behind on those pages in her handwriting with her Bic pen. So we thought we'd ask her about some of her answers in Dynamite and maybe even quiz her a little bit. So let's see how much she remembers.
Okay, Martha. In July of 1981, you filled out a survey in the issue of Dynamite that featured on the cover, if this helps you, Valerie Bertinelli. Okay, and Dynamite asked you, who would you like to see featured in future issues of Dynamite? And what bands or musical groups would you like to also see featured? And you took the time to fill it out. I guess you didn't mail it in, but you filled it out. And I wanted to ask you if you recalled what 3 stars or celebrities would you have liked to read about in Dynamite Magazine when you filled this out in 1981? Any thoughts?
Wow. I have no idea what I wrote. I'm guessing that I might have put Sean Cassidy. He is someone that would have been at the top of my list.
And
but he was in a lot of the issues, so he had some really good coverage.
I could see how
We'll give you a hint. Think older.
Yeah, a little older than Sean Cassidy.
I have no idea.
We've stumped you.
Okay.
I'm going to let you know. You were interested in reading more about Bob Hope.
Yes. I love Bob Hope.
Yes, well, you also loved George Burns.
Good night, Gracie. Come on.
Oh, God, that's a great movie. Oh, God was a great movie.
That's
Oh
true.
God was an excellent movie.
That was a good movie. And Brooke Shields was the third.
Yeah.
Of course.
The ultimate trifecta there.
Indeed.
So, Martha, what 3 groups musical groups would you have wanted to see featured? Or solo acts?
In 19, what was it again? 81?
81.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, ABBA comes to mind. Bee Gees comes to mind. There are kind of some obvious ones. I'm sure I was more esoteric than that, but do tell.
Well, I will let you know. First, you would have loved to have heard some more or read some more about John Denver.
Yeah.
That goes with the George Burns because John Denver was an oh God.
That's
true.
right.
He was one of my dad's
I bet you had just seen that.
Yeah.
Oh,
cute.
That's so sweet.
I love listening to John Denver, especially when we're out around the bonfire. We always queue up John Denver around the bonfire.
Oh gosh, I mean that's just
That's
classic.
evergreen.
I love it.
That is. And these guys like to think they're evergreen because I think they come through at like the casinos around here at Mystic Lake. We can sometimes catch a Styx reunion. So Styx was one of yours.
Totally.
And then I think this is quintessential 1981 would be Air Supply.
I love Air Supply, Martha.
And I'm never gonna make it like you do, making love out of nothing at all.
Making love.
I know like all the lyrics to Air Supply songs.
Oh, I do too.
Can I tell you a
do
story
too.
about Air Supply?
Yes,
Please.
It's really shocking. I was supposed to go with one of my older brothers to the Air Supply concert, and he ditched me to go with his then girlfriend, who we later dumped.
Sad.
That's unforgivable.
Shame on him.
We have words when it comes up.
Would that have been your first concert?
Yes.
So he shortchanged
did.
you out of Air Supply being your first
Did.
concert.
And my first concert actually ended up being John Denver.
Oh my God. Okay, we're going to have you back.
We're going to have you back because we have a first concerts episode coming up in, 6 weeks or so. And we want people to call. We're going to have a call-in number that you can just call and leave your voice, your message about.
I'm holding up the Dynamite John Denver cover
Martha's
right now.
Damn it, why did I give these to her?
March of 1982, and the Ears to You Dynamite Kid Here's your chance to give Dynamite an earful. And when you fill these out, you just never sent them in. Your favorite TV shows are, I'm going to give you two, and I'm going to see if you can give me the third one. In 1982, your favorite TV shows were Bosom Buddies. Solid choice. I love that show.
Yes.
Benson, another good one.
Benson.
And what do you think your third was? Well, I'll give you one hint. You might have been hoping to see Bob Hope or George Burns on this show.
The Carol Burnett show? No.
That's a good guess. No,
Another
but
good
you
choice.
love, your third favorite show was The Tonight Show.
You're an old soul, Martha.
I thought you were going to say Love Boat. It's the Tonight Show.
No, Martha loved Bosom Buddies, Benson, and The Tonight Show.
Which I didn't normally get to watch. So that's...
Martha, how old were you?
We love you, Martha.
Oh my God. Okay, I have a very special issue of Dynamite. It's it's a collector's issue all about bummers, where kids write in and say, like, isn't it a bummer when your shoelaces come untied? And you wrote all over the front of it, Martha's, keep your hands off. And then in all caps, you wrote again, hands off, just in case they didn't read the first message.
It's that brother. It's that awful brother.
Yes.
I had two brothers.
Everyone was all over your Dynamite. Okay, and so there's a column in here where you get to write about your summer. And so this is August of 1981. I'm sure you don't remember this, but at the time you were reading a book called Hey Lover Boy.
Oh, no.
That sounds like a good one.
Sounds like one of those Sweet Dreams romances that we posted about that time, doesn't it? Like, I can picture the cover of that book.
It wasn't a classic, I don't
It
know.
wasn't a Judy Blume, so no.
No. I think you got that on the sale table at the library. Okay, that summer. So the summer of 1981, when you were 13 years old, you said, I learned how to, do you remember what you learned how to
Drive.
Oh, really? At 13?
Oh, we learned really, I'm from rural Iowa, so we learned really young.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're driving a tractor.
I mean, she's watching George Burns and Papa. I mean, she's
Probably is.
I was surprised. Maybe
Driving way more mature.
Did
than
you
us.
learn to smoke a pipe?
No, I didn't.
I'll tell you. You learned to do a backflip in the water. I like how you emphasized it was in the water, though. You didn't want to lead Dynamite on. You wanted to make sure that they got the real deal. Okay, and then there's another. I'm sorry, Michelle. Carolyn.
I was
Carolyn,
just going to interject. I just thought this was funny because I just looked up Hey Lover Boy.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah. And it was originally published in 1981. I'm guessing, children's book. 13-year-old Paul's attempts to do research for the pornographic play he plans to write for Mrs. Coover's writing class are hampered by the sudden devoted attentions of his classmate, Margaret.
Oh.
I want to read it.
His pornographic play?
No, that just does not seem like me.
Well, there's the Tonight Show and George Burns
right.
and Bob Hope.
Lots of
You were just
surprises,
really,
but
really advanced.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, there's a quick column here that's super funny called "What's Hot and
I'm
What's
gonna
Not,"
interject.
and you get to.
Sorry, we're starting all over again because this is my rabbit hole. The author also wrote How to Eat
that's
Fried
how
Worms.
I got to it.
That's a
That's how I
great
got to
way.
it. Okay.
Yes, there you
Was
go.
that
Okay.
Richard Peck?
No, this is Thomas
Yeah, that's how
Rockwell.
I got to it.
The end. I'm stopping.
Because that I remember. I'm sure I just went to the library and said, what else do you have by this author?
Yeah.
It's right next to it.
Right.
Sure, you just grabbed it off the shelf. Hey, lover boy.
Sorry.
Oh my God. We're all going to go find Hey Lover Boy on eBay now. And his pornographic
I'm
play.
getting the sample right now.
I know. Okay, I have a quiz that Little Martha took. And Little Martha did really well. And we just want to see if you can do as well as Little Martha did.
Probably not.
So the article is called Tune In to Dynamite's TV Trivia Quiz. Hold it, gang. Don't touch that dial. It's time to take a break from the puzzles and time to tune in to this TV trivia quiz. Okay, Little Martha. Oh, no, this is Big Martha. Big Martha, are you ready? You're competing against Little Martha.
Let's say old Martha. I don't like Big Martha. Has the wrong
She'd rather be old than big. Okay, old Martha. Number 1. And these are all multiple choice. So I'll give you choices. That'll make it easier for you.
Maybe.
Tom Selleck made a lot of commercials before he hit it big on Magnum PI. His good looks have sold a lot of A, cigarettes, B, aftershave lotion, C, Pepsi, or D, all of the above.
All of the above.
Ding, 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 ding. Little Martha got that one right too.
Him.
Mm-hmm. That's where, Annie Smith.
Yes.
She said when she saw Magnum PI on the screen, she got up really close and she was like examining it, and she thought to herself, I guess that's what sexy means.
She wasn't wrong.
She wasn't wrong.
That's right.
She was figuring it out.
Short.
Okay.
Yes.
And the tube socks. Number 2, Laverne and Shirley has been a popular show for 6 years, but Penny Marshall has been on TV much longer. Again, we have multiple choice. Her first TV series was A, The Brady Bunch, B, The Odd Couple, or C, Happy Days.
Happy Days.
Oh, I would have said Happy Days too.
The Odd Couple. She was Jack Klugman's secretary,
Oh, gosh.
and she was brilliant. Her name's like Bernice or something like that. Little Martha got that right,
Way
by
to
the way.
go, little Martha.
Mm-hmm. She's good. Okay, number 3. Gilligan and the rest of the passengers were left stranded on an island in the Pacific after their boat ran aground in a storm. The name of the ill-fated boat was A, Pacific Princess, B, Minnow, C, Titanic.
It was Minnow. And you know what I just learned about that?
I didn't expect Martha to come bring us
know.
stuff. I thought we were just going to give her stuff.
Newton Minnow was his name.
Martha's going to be our new contributor. And for that, we're going to go to Martha.
Martha's
It
in the
was
field.
Sherwood Schwartz. Yes. He says who fired a return shot.
Oh, right.
For naming the shipwreck boat Gilligan's Island. Anyway. I think he was talking, he was talking about TV as the vast wasteland. So Newton Minnow, who was behind the starting of public television, went after what was on TV. And so Sherwood Schwartz said, oh, yeah, take that.
That is fabulous. That is fabulous.
Good, fun fact.
And Sherwood Schwartz must have been so excited that his last name was Minnow.
It could not have been
That fits so
more
nicely.
perfect.
Yeah.
And this guy is just as cute as ever. His daughter was sitting on the couch behind when he was being interviewed, and he was just sharp as a tack, and he's like 97 or something. Anyway.
Mr. Minnow?
Anyway.
That's hilarious.
Sorry.
Oh,
Total sidebar.
that's great.
Right.
No, we love our sidebars. They're the best
Carolyn
part.
loves a good sidebar. That'll go down in her
I'm
rabbit
really
hole.
trying to write down some notes to figure out this. I'm really loving that. And now we go to Martha in the field. Like that was hilarious. I don't know how we can ever do that. And then we'll just tape it at a different time, and it'll just be
Right.
Martha's like man on the street interviews.
Please.
We have Carolyn's
I love it.
rabbit hole, and we have Martha in the
Yes,
field.
Perfect.
Wouldn't that be so
I
funny? And
love
she's
it.
just like, whatever we're talking about, like TV theme songs. She just is out there with a microphone and her iPhone going, what's your favorite TV theme song? What's your favorite TV theme
From
song?
the 80s.
We can figure something out. This would be really funny.
Right. There are no TV themes.
I like how I'm texting my family too. I went straight from therapy to this, and I'm starving. And I'm like, can someone please bring me a sleeve of Ritz crackers and a Diet Pepsi and set them outside my closet door?
I have some blueberries. I'll share with you. Okay, let's see. Let's move on. Let's go up to the greatest American hero, shall we?
You guys, is that the greatest theme song ever?
Speaking of theme songs,
Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free.
Joey Scarborough, right? Did the song. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
good memory.
Ah,
Yes,
Yes,
that made
for
it
sure.
to the billboard.
love it.
Is that a song maybe you could put on a...
I'm walking on air.
Is that like an actual, like sometimes, theme songs are an actual full-length song.
Oh, it was on the radio. It was a hit.
I'm adding it to Spotify playlists.
Huge hit.
I
Huge
love
hit.
that song. And the show was also hilarious.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Such a good show.
Okay, so here's our greatest American hero question, which Little Martha did get right also. The greatest American hero is always flying off and getting involved in all kinds of adventures while his girlfriend worries about him. What does she do for a living? A, she's a lawyer. B, she's a teacher. C, she's an actress. Or D, she worries.
I don't
No,
know.
teacher.
No, she's a
No.
lawyer. Little Martha was paying
Yes, she
attention.
was.
I love this question. I'm sorry, Carolyn, what?
Oh, I was just going to say that was Connie Selica, I believe.
yes.
Is that correct?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Okay.
I feel like I had more information about Connie Selica and nothing came out of my mouth. Here's one. I think this is my favorite question. On the show Different Strokes, Arnold and Willis now live in the beautiful Fifth Avenue apartment of Philip Drummond. How did he first meet the boys? A, their mother was his housekeeper before she died. B, he donated some money to the adoption agency where they lived and Arnold accepted the check. Or C, they were wandering in the streets and he asked them for directions.
Their mom was the maid.
Yes,
she
That's what I
was,
think.
yeah.
Too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Ding, ding,
This
ding,
is
ding.
so fun. I think we should do a whole episode on like some game show like this. This is really fun.
Yeah.
I'm
The whole
enjoying
show
it.
now.
You guys are all, I get met with crickets, but I'm like, this is really fun for me.
This is the last one. And I'm just going to tell you, little Martha had a lot of trouble here. And there's a lot of crossing out and some scribbling. And I'm not exactly sure if she got it right or if she chose all of them. I don't know. Okay. So just know.
I can just see little Martha. Like,
I know.
Be better, little Martha. Be better.
And you guys, she had no Google. There was nothing that she could do. She couldn't get the answers. Okay, so here's the question. Before Merlin Olsen put on his priestly robes and became Father Murphy, he was A, a football player, B, an actor on Little House, C, a sports announcer, or D, all of these things. All of these things. I think little Martha eventually got there, but it was just hard for her. I'm just really feeling for her right now. Martha, thanks for playing, man.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
You guys are great.
I have
This was
one
really
more,
fun. We're definitely going to have you back, Martha.
Yeah, we'll
This
have
was
you
fun.
back. We'll quiz you some more on your Dynamite magazines.
Okay, well, Bob Hope and George Burns are timeless, so I'm
Oh
really
my
glad
God, They are.
And the Tonight Show. Okay, Martha, would you like to tell people how to follow Kunow Collections? You want to give us your tagline for what Kunow Collections is and how they can find you?
You can follow us on Instagram at Kunow Collections or on Facebook at Kunow Collections.
Martha sources home items from all over the world, from Norway and Morocco, and works with artisans all over the world to bring you beautiful things for your home. The thing that I have all over my house are sheepskins.
I love them.
And I was telling Carolyn and Michelle about how the guy who gets your sheepskins lost his sheep one day, and you had to go out on the mountain and help him find his sheep.
Yep, we found the sheep.
Beautiful stuff, blankets and pillows and poofs and pottery.
Oh,
Good stuff.
yes.
Local.
Really beautiful stuff. Yeah.
And we'll put a link in the show
Oh,
notes.
that's really sweet.
Mhm.
I didn't even think of that.
It's very
Wow,
official.
Thank you.
We are very sweet, in case just
You are.
in case word on the street says anything else. We are sweet.
Oh my gosh.
Martha, thank you so much for being our guinea
You
pig
bet.
today.
Yeah.
You're a good sport.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Martha.
Well,
Thank
thanks
you,
for
Martha.
inviting me.
I love
You sure
Martha.
are.
It was nice to meet
Martha,
her.
you're so great.
And this episode of the PCPS is dedicated to Martha and all you Gen Xers who saved your pennies and counted the days until the next Scholastic book order arrived so you could get your beloved Dynamite magazine. Thanks for listening and have a Dynamite day.
And join us next time when we'll be saving that circular path to nirvana, the roller rink.
And also, if you enjoy our conversations, we'd be so grateful if you would leave a glorious review using the words witty and enlightening, if you'd like. And most importantly, subscribe or follow wherever you listen. That's really important. And we also have a lot of fun on social media. Just search Pop Culture Preservation Society.
In the meantime, let's raise our glasses for a toast. Courtesy of Chrissy, our favorite blonde, Janet, our favorite brunette, and Jack Tripper, our favorite pretend gay man. To good times.
To happy days.
To Little House on the Prairie.
Cheers.
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 Hallelujah, motherfuckers.
Jesus.
Oh,
Wow.
my God.
Let's wrap that up.
I want to renegotiate my contract before I go into this editing. Into the
I want to
editing
get out of
booth.
my dark closet. It's scary in here.
Information, opinions, and comments expressed on the Pop Culture Preservation Society podcast belong solely to me, the crushologist, and Carolyn and Hello Newman, and are in no way representative of our employers or affiliates. And though we truly believe we are always right, I guess there's always a first time. The PCPS is written, produced, and recorded at Modern Well, a woman-centered co-working space in Minneapolis, Minnesota, home of the fictional WJM studios and our beloved Mary Richards. Nanu Nanu, keep on truckin', and may the force be with you.
Together, we get a happy feeling when we're singing a song.